North America, 1625. A battleground against the native people and curious conquerors from Europe, since they discovered it even existed. Two separate worlds fighting for power and land. Throughout their existence, the native people of North America never were taught about or shown the faith of Christ. That is, until 1625, when the North American Martyrs. This story is one of great perseverance, ultimate trust in the Lord, and bravery. Here is the story of the patron saints of the Americas, St. Isaac Jogues, St. John Brebeuf, and the North American Martyrs.
The starting of a mission trip is not an easy one. It takes time and patience, as Paul LeJoyne knew. Paul LeJoyne knew he was not destined for martyrdom due to his health, so instead he looked for others to come to New France to support him. That is where he found Father John Brebeuf, who was born on March 25th, 1593 on the Feast of the Annunciation. He was one of 3 original missionaries to go to New France. He was to study for 2 years before going to the Huron settlement. For a year, he had to go to Quebec because of an impending war. From that point, he would then pick up much-needed recruits in Charles Garnier and Isaac Jogues.
Father Isaac Jogues was born in the French kingdom of Orleans on January 10, 1607. At age 10, he started Jesuit schooling and entered the Jesuit novitiate at age 17. Jogues professed simple vows of faith in 1626 and continued his pursuit of knowledge through studying philosophy, teaching humanities to young men, and going to Paris for theology. In 1636, he heard about John Brebeuf and the missionaries in New France. They told Jogues, and Jogues heard about countless tales of tortures and hardships that endured the missionaries that would go to the New World to serve. Father Jogues felt more and more called after each story to go and serve himself. Shortly after he got ordained, he was ready to set sail for New France, and on April 8, 1636, Father Isaac Jogues set sail for the New World for the first time. Jogues got to the Huron mission in September of that year and immediately started his work. Shortly after, each missionary except for Father Brebeuf got terminally ill with influenza, and Father Jogues nearly died. The fact that none of the missionaries did in fact die is seen as a form of a miracle. Once they all recovered, the missionaries started to aid the sick natives of the area, showing them the faith and ultimately baptizing many before they would die of their sickness. In September of 1639, another outbreak of influenza revealed itself, and this, mixed with war against the Iroquois tribe, resulted in the Huron tribe decreasing in large numbers, each year. Around 1642, the Huron people were so stricken with poverty that Father Jogues decided to take them somewhere else. Along this way, they were on canoes and they got stopped by the Mohawk Indians and became prisoners of war. Jogues ultimately was a prisoner of war for 13 months, and his friend René Goupil became the first martyr of North America with the tomahawks of the Mohawk tribe. His last words were, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus." Again, after 13 months total, St. Isaac Jogues escaped from prison one night and was able to go back to the Huron people. Around Christmas of 1643, Father Isaac Jogues returned back to France, but he knew that this would be the last time he would ever be in his homeland. One afternoon, he was praying, and he felt an overwhelming desire to suffer for God, endure pain, undergo fatigue, and face dangers. He bent down and prayed to God, wanting to give his life for God. He wanted to sacrifice his life. He offered himself body, soul, will, mind, and memory to God. After this, he burned with fever and heard the words, "Exaudita est oratio tua, fiat tibi sicu a me pesitsi, confarte et esto robustas." This message meant, "Thy prayer is heard, it will be done to thee as thou hast asked. Be comforted, be strong of heart." Shortly after, Isaac Jogues returned to New France in June of 1644, and shortly distress rose again in this area. Father Isaac Jogues and John de Lalande decided to go to another area, another tribe, and have a meal that was invited for them. As Isaac Jogues entered the building, the Bear tribe, instead of a meal, brought tomahawks at him, striking him and killing him. Him and John de la Lande died that night, September 24th, 1646.
After several years of hard work and the mourning the loss of Isaac Jogues, John Brebeuf and one of his fresh recruits, another priest named Gabriel Lamenta, on March 15th, 1649, would be captured again by the Iroquois. They would be brought back and tortured by formerly converted Indians and the welcome committee that awaited them. They held their faith and prayed for their captors, as his last words at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, just 9 days away from his 59th birthday, that came from his mouth were Jesus Aturie, which translates to Jesus have mercy on us. Shortly after his death, Charles Garnier, Noah Chabanel, and Gabriel Lament would die by Iroquois attacks.